Leisure and Community Center, Inc. Parent Orientation. Family Engagement and Early Childhood Education. Welcome to Leisure Dean's Community Center's presentation on family engagement and early childhood education. Family engagement is a critical component of the Early Head Start program, which fosters a strong partnership between families, educators, and the community. Importance of family involvement. Research shows that family involvement has a positive impact on children's learning and development. Engaged families play a crucial role in supporting children's academic, social, and emotional growth. Benefits of family engagement. Better academic results. Children with involved families are more likely to achieve greater academic success. Improved social skills. Family support contributes to positive social interactions and cooperation with peers. Improved attendance and behavior. Engaged families encourage regular school attendance and positive behavior from children. Types of family engagement. Parenting. Provide resources and support to parents in their role as the child's first teacher. Communication. Establish open and effective lines of communication between families and educators. Volunteering. Encourage family members to participate in classroom activities and school events. Learning at home. Offer guidance to parents to support learning activities at home. Strategies for effective family engagement. Culturally responsive approach, acknowledging and respecting the diverse cultural backgrounds, customs, and languages within families. Welcoming environment. Create a warm and welcoming environment that fosters positive family-teacher relationships. Two-way communication. Encourage regular communication both by informing families of their child's progress and soliciting their input. Family workshops. Hold workshops on various topics such as parenting skills, child development, and health and nutrition. Home visits. Initiate home visits to establish a personal connection with families and understand their unique needs. Benefits of home visits. Home visits provide a fuller understanding of the child's environment and family dynamics. They foster trust and strengthen the relationship between families and educators. Community associations. Collaboration with community organizations enhances family engagement efforts. Partnerships expand access to resources, services, and support for families. Address barriers to family engagement. Language and culture barriers. Offer culturally sensitive translation services and resources. Timing and scheduling. Provide flexible meeting times and virtual options to accommodate busy schedules. Transportation. Arrange transportation options for families to attend school events. Parent education. Offer resources and workshops to empower parents with the knowledge and skills to support their children's learning. Measurement of family participation. Establish metrics and evaluation tools to measure the effectiveness of family engagement initiatives. Use feedback from families to make improvements and adjustments as needed. Success stories. Share success stories and testimonials from families who have been actively involved in their children's education. Highlight the positive impact that family involvement has had on your child's development. Conclusion. Family engagement is a powerful catalyst for the success of early childhood education, particularly in early Head Start programs. By building strong partnerships with families, we can create a nurturing and supportive learning environment for every child. Leisure and Community Center, Inc. Early Head Start Parent Agreement. Number 1. To be a model parent, I will use appropriate, respectful, and friendly language at school. I will address all staff and family in a respectful manner. Number 2. Dress appropriately while at school. Inappropriate attire, including but not limited to revealing clothing, obscene or offensive writing on clothing, nightwear, etc., is not permitted. Number 3, use a cell phone only outside of the classroom. Number 4, follow all traffic rules, including proper parking, not leaving children under the age of 15 unattended in the car, turning down the music to an appropriate level, not leaving the engine running, etc. I understand that if necessary, the proper authorities will be called. Number 5, provide valid identification when requested by staff. Anyone picking up my child must also be able to present proper identification when requested before my child is released. Number 6, keep my emergency contact list up to date. Only those listed on the emergency contact list will be able to pick up my child. Number 7, follow Leisure Dean's program hours of operation policy. Drop off from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Pick up no later than 4 p.m. I understand that not picking up my child during program hours is serious and in some cases may be considered negligence and will require the involvement of law enforcement DCF. Number 8, maintain compliance with DCF regulations by ensuring my child has current health documentation on file. I agree to keep such information current and up to date throughout the duration of my participation in the program. Documentation includes physicals, immunizations, and dental exams. Missing or expired documents will result in exclusion under licensing rules until the documents are turned in. Number 9, make sure my child attends school as many days as possible. I will contact the center immediately when my child is unable to attend. Number 10, keep my child at home when affected by a contagious disease or on the advice of Leisure Dean staff or health professionals. 11, regularly attend scheduled parent committee meetings. I will also volunteer my time and services for the program as often as possible. Number 12, to first address concerns at parent-teacher conferences. Number 13, be available and participate in discussions about my child's health, education, behavior, or concerns, progress, goals, assessments, home visits, etc. Number 14, allow Leisure Dean staff to make home visits during the school year at my convenience. Number 15, allow my child's photographs to be used in newspapers, display, bulletin boards, educational publications, movies, and television presentations for educational, training, and recruiting activities. Number 16, complete child abuse and neglect training provided by Leisure Dean. Number 17, meet the standards outlined in the Leisure Dean Early Head Start Parent Handbook. Number 18, comply with the standards outlined in the You Know Your Child Care brochure. Number 19, work with my family worker to develop goals and objectives. Number 20, Leisure Dean staff will provide support to the parent beginning 6 months prior to the child's 3rd birthday to help prepare and locate additional child care services for the family. It is the parent's responsibility to identify and enroll the child into a child care program once the child has turned 3 years old with the resources and support provided by a Leisure Dean staff. You will then be prompted to sign the parent agreement form, which states, to the best of my knowledge, the information on this form is correct. I understand that if any information is found to be incorrect, such as address, phone number, and/or family size, I am required to notify the program immediately. I understand that these records are confidential and only those who work directly with my child or family will have access to them. Records will not be released to any other agency without the written permission of the parent or guardian. When you sign the parent agreement form, you are agreeing to statements number 1 through 20. Transitions. Leisure Dean's Early Head Start program serves children ages 0 to 3 years. Children enrolled in the Early Head Start program will transition into Head Start or another child care program as soon as possible after the child's 3rd birthday. Leisure Dean staff will provide support to the parent beginning 6 months prior to the child's 3rd birthday to help prepare and locate additional child care services for the family. It is the parent's responsibility to identify and enroll the child into a child care program once the child has turned 3 years old with the resources and support provided by Leisure Dean staff. In preparation for this transition, your family worker will meet with you to discuss the transition process and your available options. We will meet with you 6 months prior to your child's 3rd birthday to begin the transition. At this meeting, We will discuss the transition process, including the options of a new preschool setting and the development of goals for your child. We will then meet with you 3 months prior to your child's third birthday to share information about your child's goals and progress as we continue to provide support to you and your child through the transition process. 1 month prior to the transition, we will assist you with completing and obtaining the required documentation to enroll your child into a new preschool setting. If you choose to apply to our Head Start program, we will start the classroom visit schedule to the new preschool classroom at this time. In the event you, the parent guardian, cannot participate in Head Start classroom transition visits, you can designate someone listed on the emergency contact to take your place. For example, if a child is 2 years and 10 months old when enrolled, Lee Jardine staff will begin the transition process to help you find a new school for your child. At 3 years old, your child should already have applied to a school to start as soon as possible. The children's curriculum at Lee Jardine Early Head Start is for children 0 to 3 years old. Once the child is 3 years old, the curriculum changes with the growth of the child. Importance of attendance. The URSIO worker at Lee Jardine works with parents to maintain consistent attendance and ensure that educational goals are met. Parents are asked to inform the program when their child will be absent since the program keeps track of all children's attendance. Regular attendance and on-time daily arrivals provide consistency, order, and a sense of empowerment that are important for young children and essential for developing lifelong skills. Remember the following. A consistent routine helps children feel secure and gives them a sense of security that helps them learn better. Interrupted attendance or long periods of absence can affect both your child's adjustment to school and their learning. Make the commitment to your child and their education by bringing them to school every day. If a child is absent for 3 days in a row, the URSIA worker or program staff conduct a home visit to review your child's enrollment and establish a plan to improve your child's attendance. You and your child are important members of the Lee Jardine community, and we look forward to seeing you on a daily basis. Attendance Policy Acknowledgement Form. This form describes the Early Head Start attendance policy in accordance with Head Start Performance Standard 1302.16, which requires programs to promote regular attendance. Key points. If a child has 8 or more unexcused absences from Early Head Start in a single month and no valid reason or documentation is provided, the child may be withdrawn from the program and placed on the waiting list. This is to allow another eligible child the opportunity to participate. Excused absences may include illness with or without a doctor's note depending on the situation, medical or dental appointments, family emergencies, religious observances, other valid reasons approved by the program manager. Important. Parents are encouraged to notify the program as soon as possible if their child will be absent. Families experiencing difficulties affecting attendance may receive support through family advocates or program staff. Acknowledgement. By signing, the parent guardian confirms that they understand the policy and acknowledges that repeated violations may result in their child being placed on the waiting list. The second form describes the attendance-related policies to ensure a structured and safe learning environment in line with Head Start Performance Standard 1302.16. Drop-off policy. Drop-off window 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Arrivals after 8:30 a.m. may be considered tardy and not admitted. If the child has a doctor's appointment and staff is informed in advance, arrival up to 10:30 a.m. is excused. Arrivals after 10:30 a.m. without notice will be marked absent. Pick up policy. Pickup time is 4 p.m. Children must be picked up on time. If a child is picked up late 3 times in 1 month without valid reason or notice, the child may be placed on the wait list. If the center offers an after school program, it is recommended to enroll the child in the 4 to 6 p.m. program, school readiness, or private pay. If someone not listed on the Department of Children and Families emergency contact form attempts pickup, authorities will be contacted. Acknowledgement. By signing, parents confirm they understand the policies. Repeated violations may result in the child being placed on the wait list. Education component. Creative curriculum, HSPPS. Teaching strategies gold. Learning environment. Screenings, ASQ3 and ASQ SE2. Mental health and disability component. Mental health disability component provides individualized accommodations and support as necessary to support the full participation of children with disabilities and mental health concerns. Helps parents, caretakers to link children to therapy services. Refers children for further evaluation to access eligibility determination for services under IDEA. Assist parents of children with disabilities to become advocates for their children. Licensed mental health professional, mental health consultant, mental health/disability manager, disability facilitators, behavior support specialist. Mental health and disability component. Mental health staff are available to provide additional resources and referrals if you or your child has experienced or are currently experiencing trauma. Contact information for the licensed mental health professional and the mental health consultant are posted in front of every center and are listed here. If additional assistance is needed with contacting a member of the mental health/disability team, please work with your assigned family worker for further guidance. Definition of disability. Any condition of the body or mind that makes it more difficult for the person with the condition to do certain activities and interact with the world around them. Each child is unique and has unique needs, so no single approach to caring for children with special needs can be applied to all children, even those with the same disability or special need. Leisure Dean Community Center practices inclusion, meaning we include children of all abilities in the same classroom. Types of disabilities. Learning. Difficulties acquiring knowledge or skills to the level expected of those the same age. Problems can interfere with learning basic skills such as reading, writing, and/or math. This may mean difficulty communicating, learning, and retaining information. Emotional/behavioral. Affects a person's thinking, emotional state, and behaviors. Physical. May affect, either temporarily or permanently, a person's physical capacity and/or mobility. Sensory. Affect one or more senses: sight, hearing, smell, touch, taste. During enrollment. During the interview process with the assigned family worker, if you have any concerns or services that your child may already be receiving, please let the family worker know and they will complete a referral to mental health or disability component staff for follow-up. Mental health and disability staff will review the internal referral and pertinent documents prior to meeting with teacher and parent in order to develop a follow-up intervention plan. The goals or strategies on the plan are carried out by the teacher in classroom, by the parent in the home. Follow-up on the child's progress is conducted monthly. If additional concerns are noted, goals achieved or condition resolved, An additional meeting is requested with parent by appropriate staff to update plan as needed. All parents of children with developmental concerns will be offered a referral to Early Step or FDLRS to access the child's eligibility for services under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. While pending further evaluation, the individualized follow-up intervention plan is implemented and the child is referred to a local agency to receive additional support services. Example, physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, mental health, counseling. If the parent consents to the referral, the mental health/disability staff will assist the parents through the evaluation process. If the child meets eligibility, an individualized family support plan IFSP or individualized education plan IEP will be developed. Developmental screenings. Within the first 45 calendar days of enrollment, children receive developmental screenings in the classroom setting, administered by teaching staff in collaboration with parents. Screening concerns. If results are borderline, show an area of concern, or teacher/parent notes a concern regarding a child's development at any point during the program year, the teacher will complete the referral process to the mental health/disability component for follow-up. Therapist requirements. 1. If a child is receiving therapeutic services, the therapist must meet a number of requirements to obtain authorization to provide services in our center/classroom. 2. Parents of children receiving therapeutic services on site will be required to sign consent forms to allow therapists to provide services to their child on site. 3. Once the therapist has been cleared and all requirements have been met, the therapist is allowed at the center to provide services. 4. Currently, the following services are permitted on site: physical therapy, occupational therapy, ABA therapy, mental health counseling, and infant and toddler developmental specialist. 5. Speech therapy is not allowed at the centers. Adverse childhood experience. Adverse childhood experience, ACE, are potentially traumatic events that occur in childhood 0 to 17 years old, such as experiencing violence, abuse, or neglect, witnessing violence in the home, and having a family member attempt or die by suicide. Also included are aspects of the child's environment that can undermine their sense of safety, stability, and bonding, such as growing up in a household with substance misuse, mental health problems, or instability due to parental separation or incarceration of a parent, sibling, or other members of the household. Traumatic events in childhood can be emotionally painful or distressing and can have effects that persist for years. Factors such as the nature, frequency, and seriousness of the traumatic event, prior history of trauma, and available family and community support can shape a child's response to trauma. Trauma. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration describes individual trauma as resulting from an event, series of events, or set of circumstances that is experienced by an individual as physically or emotionally harmful or life-threatening, and that has lasting adverse effects on the individual's functioning and mental, physical, social, emotional, or spiritual well-being. Trauma has no boundaries with regard to age, gender, socioeconomic status, race, ethnicity, or sexual orientation. Trauma is a common experience for adults and children in American communities, and it is especially common in the lives of people with mental health and substance use disorders. For this reason, the need to address trauma is increasingly seen as an important part of effective behavioral health care and a part of the healing and recovery process. Gentle reminder: If you or your child have experienced or are currently experiencing trauma, our centers are staffed by a licensed mental health and a licensed mental health consultant. Feel free to contact us for help. See below for the contact information. Health and nutrition component. On the screen, you will see Leisure Dean's Health and Nutrition Coordinator and Health Facilitator's contact information. Health requirements. It is a requirement of all enrolled and newly enrolled families to be up to date and maintain up to date status on all EPSDT health requirements. The EPSDT schedule is the early periodic screening, diagnostic, and treatment schedule mandated by the state of Florida. Staff and parents/guardians must ensure that children receive regularly scheduled examinations of physical/dental health, growth, development, and nutritional status follow. Immunizations are a requirement and exclusion will be mandated if not up to date. Physicians are mandated to fulfill the Medicaid EPSDT requirements in a timely manner. All WBCs are covered through Medicaid insurance. Non-insured will be referred to the mobile health bus. Program requirements for physicals and immunizations. Immunizations. The expiration date is the date when the child is past due for the next immunization. After this date, the form is no longer valid. The child must return to a physician or clinic before the expiration date to receive the immunizations needed. If an updated form is not returned by the expiration date, the child is out of compliance. Mobile Health Bus. Introducing the Mobile Health Bus, bringing healthcare to you. Why visit us? Convenient and free. No need to travel far. Our bus comes to Leisure Dean Centers. Insurance will not be charged. Comprehensive physical exams. From blood pressure checks to routine screenings, we've got you covered. Experienced health professionals. Our team of licensed medical providers ensure top notch care. Appointment. Please call 305 205 1807 or your health facilitator to book. The Health Nutrition Department will help in obtaining determinations from healthcare professionals regarding whether the child is receiving age appropriate preventative and primary medical care, as per the well child visits and the periodicity schedules outlined by early and periodic screening, diagnosis, and treatment, EPSDT. If a child is past due a health evaluation, he or she will be seen by one of the licensed medical providers on the mobile health bus as needed. The services provided will not include vaccines or invasive procedures and do not replace a child's regular visit to his/her pediatrician. The services serve as a guide to ensure children are appropriately developing. Individual health plans. All children with identifiable and plausible chronic health conditions must have an individual health plan detailing the diagnosis, symptoms, medication, treatment filled out by a medical professional. Children with chronic conditions cannot enter classrooms until an IHP is on file and a plan of action is in place for managing the condition. Chronic conditions include asthma, food allergies, seizure disorders, metabolic disorders, developmental delays, eczema, etc. Medication administration. Medication cannot be administered unless it has been prescribed by a doctor and has a prescription label including name, date of birth, duration, and storage instructions of medication. A medication administration form must be filled out and signed by the parent before medication is administered. If a child is reported to need medication for a chronic condition as cited on their IHP, They will not be permitted in the classrooms until prescription is brought and a medication administration form is signed. Health alert exclusions. Children who are presenting symptoms of communicable and infectious disease or symptoms and conditions that need immediate attention will be issued a health alert and excluded from class. An issued health alert will result in a return action that may include a required doctor's note or 24-hour observation. Health alerts are issued for conditions and symptoms that include, but are not limited to, fever, rash, pink eye, lice, diarrhea, vomiting, common cold, ringworm, chickenpox, hand, foot, and mouth, COVID, whooping cough. Infant formulas. Program standard formula. Infamil formula is the standard cow's milk based formula suitable for infants without specific dietary restrictions or medical conditions. WIC standard formulas. Medical documentation is not needed for infants under 12 months of age to receive one of the four formulas pictured. However, Leisure Community Center requires WIC documentation to receive any of the WIC contracted formulas. Special formulas. Any infant formula not listed above will require an individualized healthcare plan, IHP, to be filled out by a physician. This ensures that the specific nutritional and medical needs of infants are met appropriately. Meal modifications. Any change in the meal cycle or meal pattern will require an IHP specifying why the child needs modifications to menu. An IHP must be turned in to the health component before a child is allowed to enter the classroom. Food allergies, food intolerances, etc.